umugore aguhaye inka ukayemera ahandi ari umugabo wiguhaye witwa umugaragu ariko iyo uhawe n'umugore ukayemera witwa idebe ndi idebe ryawe I don't remember, maybe it was Saturday. I went somewhere with an old friend called Immaculée Ingabire. We went to Yesera for good reason. And so we went there to visit the farm because she has many different places, and I wanted to see the place of my friend Ingabire. Coming back, we went somewhere for soda, and we met a small group of young people. So saying hi to these young people, some of them I knew them, and for this lady I have never met. It was my first time. When she saw me, she just said, "You know what? I want to give you a cow." And that was a good discussion, because in Rwandan culture, when a woman or a girl is giving cow, it is not like a man giving a cow. I started explaining what is going to happen. If you give me a cow, I'm going to be your idebe. So, and idebe in the real meaning, it is like someone who will be very close to that woman, who will be a friend, a very close friend, because of that cow. And explaining this meaning to these young people, they did not understand. Even the small group there, they laughed. They said, "What? How can you become an idebe when you are given a cow?" And I had to explain. Going back to the philosophy of Rwandans, where the queen gave a cow to someone, and this person became idebe. And the meaning of this idebe has lost in this process of the colonization, the post-colonization. Not only this idebe, even other good meanings, we have lost more because of the bad leadership. And now if you say idebe, it's like an empty small tank of something, which is totally wrong. And idebe, it has that meaning of someone who will be a friend to the queen, a friend to the woman who gave a cow. There was no issue. There was no issue. For example, my wife it has been like 5 years when I told someone who gave me a cow, and this person is a woman, I told her that I'm idebe, and there was no issue. Even in December, in this office, I was explaining this on KC2. There was an interview for the end of the year. I tried to tell a young lady who was giving an interview that I like cow. When I see cows, I feel like there is a connection with Mauritian cows. And she wanted to give me a cow, and I told her, if I accept your cow, I will be your idebe. There was no issue. And for those who knows the history, who knows the culture, who knows the meaning, there was no issue. And for these young people, it was kind of issue, and they are still spreading it. And of course, there are some close friends who did not know the meaning, who said, we are not happy. People are just saying that you are idebe, and the meaning of idebe, it's not good. So what can we do? And I used to tell them, you guys, this is fine. There's nothing big, and it is our responsibility to keep telling the people that in Rwandan culture, in Rwandan philosophy, we have so many many good words that are not known, that can boost our understanding, that can boost our knowledge. So it is our responsibility to come and tell people the heritage, the treasure that we have in our culture. Actually, when the colonial period started, the intention was to remove everything. They started from Itorero and Umuganura. If you look at the Bible or the churches, what we used to do in Umuganura, it's what they do in church. And there was a man who was in charge of Umuganura. They used to call him Umutware Umuganura. One day he was accused to mix Umuganura and the church philosophy, saying, aravanga masaka n'amasakaramentu. So today, if we say Bamporiki is mixing the Umuganura and the church philosophy or ideology, if you try to say that in English, it is okay. But if you say in Kinyarwanda, Bamporiki aravanga masaka n'amasakaramentu, people will just say, oh, this guy is crazy. What he is doing is not acceptable. But what this man did, he was right. Because if you are coming to my country, you are bringing philosophy. And I have my own philosophy. It is okay if we can mix both philosophy for us to survive. But they wanted to remove this philosophy of Umuganura for them to stay for longer. So I will give you another example of being Umutware. The meaning of being Umutware. The meaning of reading. The meaning of being a reader. In our culture, when you are Umutware, it means you are reading. So you are a reader, you have followers, you have people behind you. So one day there was a scene when the Colonial were fighting with our ideology of being Umutware. They called all Batwares from the different side of the country. And if you are Umutware of people, of cows, of army, they beat you. And if you are not Umutware, you are useless, they don't beat you. And in Kinyarwanda, in nowadays, if you say, Bamporiki ntacyo atwaye, it means he is a good man. But in our very old generation, when ntacyo utwaye, you are stupid. There is another example when we are running Christians. There's something called La Trinité, Ubutatu. Ubutatu, Butagatifu, the whole meaning of unity of Rwandans, it is in this Ubutatu bw'Abanyarwanda. Umwami w'u Rwanda, the king of Rwanda, Rwanda, and Rwandans, Rwanda. So you could not separate the king from Rwandans and from Rwanda. The three together, they used to call it Ubutatu bw'u Rwanda. Umwami wa Rubanda, Rubanda rw'umwami, u Rwanda rw'umwami na Rubanda. So, but we moved from this philosophy to the Holy Spirit, the God, and the Son. So, if you want these people to fight, they forget their relationship between themselves, their leader, and their country. There is no patriotism. They will just have in mind there is another country called Israel or called whatever, or heaven, that they are waiting for them to celebrate unity and love. And they forget that they have to start from here. So it's a fight that is in mind. It's a fight that is ideological, and we are the ones to liberate ourselves. So liberation is a process, and in these 27, 28 years, where we are celebrating every year what we achieved and what you have to achieve for next time, I'm very sure it is time to talk more about the Rwandan philosophy, the Rwandan ideology. Actually, this young generation, they love Rwanda, I have no doubt. And it's very important when you love someone to learn, to dig, to know more about someone you love. So if you love Rwanda, you really have to learn more about Rwanda. Rwanda was not born in 30 years. We have written and oral history out here. We do have all the people who knows more about the history. We are on television, we are on social media, we're explaining. Even myself, I have so many people that I learn from. So young people, let's put our foot down so that we can learn from our generation. Read about Rwanda so that you will explain more about Rwanda, being here in Rwanda or in outside. If you go to America or to the US, they will be happy when you're explaining about your country. So I would just invite or call these young people to know more, to learn more about their country. The book that I'm writing is called Isano Muzi, and I'm trying to see the relationship of Rwandans if you go back in 1,000 years. Because in Rwanda there was no many families. We came from a few families. We are Basinga, Batsobe, Banyiginya, Bega, and those were like they start as families. And what I'm discovering in my research is that even those who came from the same house, they don't know that. You will find someone called himself Umugaza because his grandfather is called Semugaza. And this Semugaza was Munyiginya because his grandfather is Munyiginya. They came from Gihanga Ngomijana. From Gihanga Ngomijana, we have like 5 clans. I will not call them ethnic, because when you are talking about Basinga, Batsobe, in Rwandan philosophy, it is called Ubwoko, Inkomoko, where you are coming from. That ok means you are coming from there. But when the colonial started, the colonialism started, they introduced ethnic group, meaning people who don't speak the same language, who doesn't have the same culture. And for us Rwandans, we are one ethnic, we are all Rwandans, but coming from different families. But trying to write about this Isano Muzi, it's also bringing the philosophy, the ideology, the thinking, terminology, the brief of Rwandans, so that the Rwandans of today, they can just learn from that book. I know there's other books that I'm even getting information from, and getting information from all the generation, but I feel like this book will help someone to understand that, you know what, this so-called Hutu, Tutsi, Twa, they are all Rwandans. I'm trying to put all this together, showing that there was a big mistake, there was bad leadership, there was bad decisions committed by readers, and the readers of today, the elders of today, the parents of today, we really have a responsibility to tell the young generation the truth, for them to keep developing the country, but having in mind that they are all one person. They are together. They don't have to fight each other. They don't have to hate each other, because they share the same country and the same culture, the same language. That's their identity.